Picture yourself on a stormy Atlantic cliff, where a lonely lighthouse stands against crashing waves. In December 1900, 3 men, James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur, worked inside, keeping ships safe. Then, without a trace, they vanished, leaving behind one of history's strangest maritime mysteries. Welcome to SANDIP English, where we chase the world's most puzzling stories with curiosity and wonder. Subscribe and hit the bell to join us as we unravel the Flannan Isles lighthouse mystery. Today, we'll explore what happened, why it gripped America, and the clues that still haunt us. The Flannan Isles are a tiny cluster of rocky islands, 20 miles west of Scotland's Outer Hebrides. In 1899, a new lighthouse was built on Eilean Moor, the largest island, to guide ships through treacherous waters. It was a lifeline for sailors crossing the Atlantic, including American vessels heading to Europe. Life on the lighthouse was tough. The keepers lived in isolation, battling fierce storms, with only each other for company. They worked in shifts, tending the lamp, cleaning lenses, and logging weather, their routine as steady as the ocean's rhythm. James Duckett, the head keeper, was a 43-year-old veteran with a calm demeanor and a family waiting ashore. Thomas Marshall, 40, was reliable, a quiet man who loved the sea. Donald MacArthur, 38, was a temporary replacement, known for his quick temper but strong work ethic. On December 15, 1900, the steamer Arch tore past the Flannan Isles and noticed the lighthouse lamp was dark, a rare and alarming sight. The crew reported it, but heavy storms delayed any investigation. It wasn't until December 26 that a relief ship, the Hesperus, reached Eilean Moor to check on the keepers. When the Hesperus crew landed, they found an eerie scene. The lighthouse door was unlocked, the beds were unmade, and a half-eaten meal of cold meat and pickles sat on the table. The clock had stopped, and 2 oilskin coats were missing, but MacArthur's coat hung on its hook. The logbook offered strange clues. Entries from December 12 to 15 described a storm so fierce that Duckett wrote, "Never seen such waves." Marshall noted, "MacArthur praying, crying, odd for seasoned keepers." Yet, local weather records showed no major storm those days. The Hesperus captain, James Moore, searched the island but found no bodies or signs of struggle. The lighthouse equipment was in perfect order, with enough oil and wicks for weeks. The only oddity was a damaged railing on the western landing, bent by some unknown force. News of the vanishing spread fast, reaching America through maritime networks. U.S. newspapers like the New York Times ran stories in January 1901, calling it the sea's strangest riddle. American sailors, who relied on the lighthouse, shared tales of its curse in port cities like Boston and Norfolk. Why did America care? The Flannan Isles were a key marker for transatlantic trade, guiding U.S. cargo ships carrying cotton, tobacco, and grain to Europe. A dark lighthouse threatened lives and profits, making the mystery personal for coastal communities. It was more than a story, it was a warning. The official report, issued by the Northern Lighthouse Board in 1901, concluded the men were swept away by a freak wave while securing equipment at the western landing. The missing oilskins and bent railings supported this idea. But many, including American sailors, weren't convinced. Freak waves, or rogue waves, were poorly understood in 1900 but known to be deadly. These monster waves, sometimes 100 feet high, could strike without warning, swallowing men in seconds. In 2025, NOAA's studies confirm such waves are common in the North Atlantic, lending weight to this theory. But holes in the wave theory persist. Why was MacArthur's coat left behind if all 3 were outside? Why no debris or bodies washed ashore, as often happens with wave victims? The half-eaten meal and stopped clock suggested a sudden, chaotic exit, not a planned task. Theory points to madness or cabin fever. Months of isolation, howling winds, and relentless work could have pushed one keeper, perhaps MacArthur, with his fiery temper, to snap. A fight could have led to tragedy, with the men falling or fleeing into the sea. This idea intrigued American audiences, who devoured dime novels about haunted lighthouses. In 1901, a Boston paper speculated the keepers turned on each other in a storm of rage. but no blood or weapons were found, and the keeper's record showed no prior tension. Supernatural tales took hold, especially in America's maritime hubs. Sailors whispered of a sea spirit, tied to Celtic myths of the Flannan Isles as a cursed place. Some claimed the island's ancient stone ruins, predating the lighthouse, held a dark power that took them in. These stories crossed the Atlantic, blending with U.S. folklore about ghost ships and sea monsters. A 1902 article in Harper's Weekly described Eilean Mor as a place where the veil between worlds is thin. For a nation obsessed with the unknown, this was irresistible. A darker theory suggests foul play. Could a passing ship, perhaps an American smuggler avoiding tariffs, landed, killed the keepers to silence witnesses, and fled? The era's lawless seas made this plausible, but no evidence of intruders was found. Conspiracy buffs in 2025 point to secret US-UK naval experiments. The North Atlantic was a testing ground for early radio and sonar, and some claim low-frequency waves drove the keepers mad. Posts this year speculate about declassified files, but no documents confirm this. The American connection grew stronger over time. In the 1910s, U.S. lighthouse keepers studied the Flannan case to improve safety, leading to stricter protocols. The mystery shaped training manuals, ensuring keepers never worked alone during storms. The Flannan Isles story inspired art and literature across the U.S. Wilfred Wilson Gibson's 1912 poem, Flannan Isle, was recited in American schools, painting a chilling picture of the empty lighthouse. Its lines about 3 men dead sent shivers down spines. Hollywood caught the bug, too. The 2018 film The Vanishing, starring Gerard Butler, dramatized the mystery, with American audiences flocking to theaters. While fictionalized, it kept the story alive, sparking new interest in coastal towns like Savannah. In the 1920s, U.S. psychics claimed to contact the keeper's spirits, holding seances in New York. They described visions of waves and screams, but offered no proof. These stunts fueled America's fascination with the supernatural, tying the mystery to spiritualism. Modern searches haven't solved the case. In the 2000s, divers explored Eilean Mor's cliffs, finding only rusted lighthouse parts. A 2024 BBC report noted underwater drones scanning the seabed, but no human remains or lifeboat debris surfaced. In 2025, the mystery thrives online. Users share grainy photos of Eilean Mor, claiming to see figures in the mist. A viral thread last month discussed a rediscovered logbook page, allegedly describing lights in the sea before the vanishing, though its authenticity is unverified. Scientists offer new angles. A 2023 study in Nature mapped Atlantic wave patterns, suggesting a rare wave train, multiple rogue waves in sequence, could have hit the lighthouse. This fits the damaged railing but doesn't explain the indoor scene. The Flannan Isles isolation adds to the puzzle. Accessible only by boat, Eilean Mor feels like another world, its cliffs battered by relentless seas. American sailors who visited in the 1900s called it the loneliest place on Earth, a sentiment echoed by 2025 tourists. Local Scottish folklore enriches the tale. The Outer Hebrides people speak of selkies, seal-like spirits who lure men to the deep. While not taken literally, these stories shaped how Americans viewed the mystery, blending Celtic magic with their own sea myths. Keepers' personal lives tug at the heart. Duckett left behind a wife and 4 children, who spent years hoping he'd return. Marshall's letters, found later, spoke of missing his sister's wedding. MacArthur's fiancée mourned him, never marrying. American maritime logs from 1900 offer clues. A U.S. freighter near the Flannans reported unnatural swells on December 14th, supporting the rogue wave idea. Another logged a green glow at sea, dismissed as aurora but now fueling UFO theories online. The lighthouse itself is a character in the story. Built to withstand 100-foot waves, it stood firm, its lamp ready to shine. The keeper's sudden absence felt like a betrayal of its purpose, making the mystery personal for sailors who trusted it. In 2025, the Flannan Isles draw adventurers, though access is restricted. YouTube vloggers sneak onto Eilean Mor, filming the lighthouse's eerie interior. Their videos, viewed millions of times, show the same table where the meal was left, frozen in time. The mystery's emotional pull lies in its unknowns. Were the keepers swept away, driven mad, or taken by something stranger? Their families never got closure, and neither have we. It's a wound that keeps the story alive. American weather data adds a twist. A 2024 NOAA analysis found the North Atlantic in 1900 had unusually volatile currents, possibly triggering wave clusters. This science backs the official report but leaves room for doubt, as no storm was logged locally. The Flannan Isles' cultural impact spans continents. In the US, it's taught in maritime history courses, a case study in human vulnerability. Coastal museums in Maine and Virginia display Flannan artifacts, like a replica logbook, drawing curious visitors. Some theorize the keepers staged their own disappearance, fleeing debts or personal troubles. But their modest lives and devotion to duty make this unlikely. Plus, surviving the Atlantic in a small lifeboat would have been near impossible. The mystery's global echoes fascinate. Similar vanishings, like Australia's 1909 Warrata ship disappearance, share the same eerie vibe. American sailors in 1900 compared the Flannan case to their own ghost ship tales, like the Mary Celeste. In 2025, AI tools analyze old lighthouse logs, searching for patterns in weather or keeper behavior. Early results, shared on X, hint at irregular lamp outages before the vanishing, but nothing conclusive. Tech keeps the hunt alive, even if answers stay out of reach. The Flannan Isles' natural beauty adds irony. Eileen Moore's cliffs bloom with seabirds, its seas teem with life, yet it hides a dark secret. American tourists visiting Scotland in 2025 list it as a must-see, drawn by its haunting aura. The keeper's legacy endures in small ways. A plaque on Eileen Moore honors Duckett, Marshall, and MacArthur, funded partly by U.S. maritime groups in the 1920s. Their names live on, even if their fates don't. The mystery's psychological grip is universal. It taps into our fear of the unknown, the idea that three men could vanish in a place meant to be a beacon. For Americans, it's a reminder of the sea's power, felt in every coastal town. The Flannan Isles story teaches resilience. The lighthouse was relit in 1901 and still operates, now automated, standing firm against the waves. It's a symbol of duty, even in the face of tragedy, inspiring maritime communities worldwide. Could we solve it? New tech, like deep-sea drones or AI wave modeling, might find a lifeboat or bones someday. Oral histories from Hebridean locals, shared in 2025 podcasts, mention lost men stories, hinting at undiscovered clues. The Flannan Isles mystery binds us to history. It's about three men caught in fate's web, a lighthouse that failed to save them, and a sea that keeps its secrets. For America, it's a shared tale of wonder and loss, carried across the Atlantic. What happened on that stormy island? Were they swept away, driven to madness, or taken by something we can't explain? The Flannan Isles lighthouse stands silent, daring us to find the truth. Share your theory in the comments. What do you think happened? Give this video a thumbs up if it stirred your imagination, and subscribe to SANDIP English for more mysteries, from haunted deserts to lost ships. Hit the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. The world is calling, let's answer it together.